let's see what we can find here. Okay, the easiest one to spot right there, that's your superior vena cava. And coming up from underneath, that's your inferior vena cava. And I tried to get out the bronchi of the lungs. Didn't work real well, but you can kind of see those tubes in there. So it goes primary bronchi to secondary and tertiary bronchi, and I think as this dries a little bit, they'll be able to peel more of that off so you can see better structure.
There's tubes in that little
Yep. Your azygos is right here. There's your azygos coming up, entering the superior vena cava just before it goes into the right atrium. And what the azygos does, it's going to be running along right next to the vertebral column back here. It's collecting the blood from your intercostal. So here's your intercostal muscles, and there's the little intercostal arteries and veins. And so the veins are going to be collected by the azygos on the right side. There is no hemiazygos in this cat. Some cats have it. Would do the same thing, collecting from the left. So then let's just start up here. Right there is part of the transverse jugular. That's how I know these are the external jugulars. And they're going to come down. They're going to join together with my subclavians, which traveled with the subclavian arteries out to the arm. Up here we also had subscapulars that aren't on our list yet. They're going to join. We're going to get our right and left brachiocephalic veins, and then it goes to the superior vena cava. We saw these last week. There's my common carotid arteries, so left and right common carotid arteries. On one side, I broke the subclavian on this side. So you can kind of see, though, here's one of my subclavians coming out, and it would have traveled along with the subclavian vein. On the other side, though, it's still there. So this is not perfectly cleaned out yet. I'm working on it. But you can kind of see the arch there. So there's the arch of my aorta. Here's my brachiocephalic trunk right here. The second branch was this one. Left common carotid, and then my left subclavian that I broke. Going this way, I was able to preserve it, so there it is, traveling along with my subclavian vein. The pulmonary trunk, it's really hard to see here. It's just going to be right in front of the aorta, and it's just this little bit curving, and since I removed the lungs, we're not going to be able to trace it to the lungs. The esophagus, I got off the cartilages really pretty good, so you can see the cartilages. And we can trace that all the way down deep here. And we know it's going to go into the primary bronchi for each lung. So on your cat, you want to remove at least one lung. You can remove the one on the right side so you can find your azygos, or you can remove the one on the left side to find your dorsal aorta. On some of them, we'll remove both. But on yours, just one or the other. The heart itself, here's the little auricles. I was kind of disappointed that I don't see too many of the surface features of the heart, so we'll look at those in the sheep heart. Underneath here, here's the rest of my esophagus. So esophagus started way up here, travels all the way down. It's going to go through the diaphragm. I did have the phrenic nerve somewhere. Let's see what happened to that. Had it and lost it, apparently. So you want to look for your vagus nerve and your phrenic nerve. You'll see the phrenics, one on each side, about right here. I guess I must have snapped it off. And the vagus is going to be traveling along with your carotid. So there's a blood vessel and a nerve traveling here. Here, they're separate here. And it's going to go first to the heart and then on down to the rest of the digestive organs. I took off, as you can see, the pericardial sac is gone. I was going to save a little bit of it so you can see how tough it is, but you can just take it off of yours. I've also peeled off most of the visceral. And a lot of times when you peel off the visceral, you can see really good detail on the heart, and I was disappointed this one doesn't have good detail. So that's what you want to do with your cat. Try to find as many of those vessels as you can on your list. The tough ones would probably be the pulmonary trunk and the pulmonary veins.